Welcome back to the Three Sad Fans podcast, and I think one of us is a little happy this week. Who is it, guys? I wonder. Yeah, who here chose the Lions? Show of hands. Anybody? Any Lions pickers out there?
Last week when I said that we might have to change the podcast, the podcast name, it's really coming through again this week.
Yeah, it's 100% here. There's no going back.
I was almost tempted to say that we would have been two happy fans and a sad fan, but we'll get to the events of Sunday night, and that was.
Wait, hold on, guys. Sorry, there's lightning in my area. I gotta go. Sorry, I'm being delayed. I gotta go. I'll be back.
We actually, the ironic part is we had to delay the recording of this podcast, so it's not recorded at the original time, and it's because there was lightning in his area, and that's why we couldn't start on time. That's not true. It's because he took a nap and he's not here for us to say, she's coming back. Shh. All right. Hi, Tom. Hi. Welcome back.
Tom.
We didn't say anything.
Tom. I'm glad the lightning cleared.
Glad to have you back. How crazy is it that happened both in Florida and in Denver?
That's wild.
Mm-hmm. I think the Florida one lasted much, much longer because the Denver one, because it was the Broncos versus the Titans, that one got delayed due to weather, but you didn't see a cloud in the sky. It was downpouring, but it was bright and sunny because the lightning was happening a few miles away.
They couldn't just deal with it, but nope, they had to make sure the players were safe, which is fair.
Listen, they'll play through snow and sleet and wind and rain, but a little bit of lightning and suddenly everyone's a coward. Who knew? I don't know, man. Just get some absorbent boots or something. Come on.
Absorbent cleats.
Just build a dome.
Just build a dome. You know what's ironic, before we get into any of the shout-outs or anything? With the Bears' construction of their new field happening over the next couple of years, all of the NFC North will now be indoors minus Lambeau Field. That'll be the one remaining stadium in the NFC North that won't be indoors. And it's more and more of these places are getting indoor stadiums, which... it does a couple things. You could do an entire breakdown of what this means for the league. Number one, it means a lot less delays. But number two, you actually might see stat increases across the board on everything because you have a lot of these great quarterbacks like Tom Brady and Peyton Manning who had to play 3, 4, 5 of their games during the year in ice cold and snow. And that affects passing stats and it affects running stats, and you're not scoring as many points in these games. But if every single game is now indoors, you're getting more opportunities for these games that have big plays. I know also with the expanded schedule, you're doing 17 games a year, and now you're having even more opportunities. So I suspect, as much as we already have seen it, we're going to continue to see records set and broken. Even more than some of these that you see now that you're there's no way that's ever getting broken. The lifetime passing yards or touchdown passes, those seem so far out there. The Emmitt Smith rushing touchdowns, you feel like nobody's ever going to surpass that. But with all of these new things being introduced, honestly, it's only a matter of time.
Plus the idea that the schedule can go to 18 games.
Mm-hmm. I'm not against 18 games, but they need 2 bye weeks. But personally, I like 17 just because then it helps tiebreakers easier. Because then we actually have 9 and 8 teams and 8 and 9 teams, and you can decipher who's good and who's not. But you get an even amount of games like they did when there was 14 and there was 16, and then you get all these 8 and 8 teams, and half the league ends in 8 and 8, and you're okay, but who makes the playoffs? It's the Colts because they have the 3-way tiebreaker over the Broncos and the Texans, and it's just a whole mess. So when you can have that
too many tiers to have to figure out for who gets into the playoffs and who gets shaped at the end,
I feel 17 is just enough to have it where it's not an even number, so you don't get any of those teams that are tied right down the middle, and you can at least still have enough variance to see who's good and who's not. But that's neither here nor there. You guys wanted to get into quick shout outs real fast?
Yeah,
we love shout outs.
All right, quick shout outs. First shout outs, I want to shout out the Cleveland Browns for their fantasy lineup, which is literally just their entire lineup. They've got Joe Flacco quarterback, 2% rostered, 0%
Joe
start.
Flacco, my goat.
I think the highest they actually have on there is Jerry Jeudy at 94% rostered and a 53% start. Either that or their tight end, who's 95% rostered and 79% start. But what I think is really funny is that they put their kicker on there, who is 0% rostered and 0% start, and literally the reason that they lost to the Cincinnati Bengals on Sunday because he missed an extra point and a field goal.
At least it wasn't Justin Tucker.
He's a rookie. He's the first game. Give him a break.
Yep. I know. He's getting into the league. I mean, unfortunately, Jake Moody got cut from the 49ers. Did you hear that?
I didn't hear that, no.
There really isn't a whole lot of sympathy in the NFL. You either start great or you get kicked. So this guy doesn't have a whole lot of time to get into it. But I'm wishing him the best.
With Moody, when he was drafted top 100, you expect a team to draft, when they draft a kicker in the top 100, that he's got to perform immediately. Moody did not. He had like a 72% career field goal make percentage. That's not going to cut it.
Not acceptable in the NFL. You know what's ironic about this matchup that I'm seeing right here, though, for the Cleveland Browns? I guarantee they still scored more in fantasy than Noah did this week. I'm kidding. No, I love you, Noah.
Way to blow my cover.
Wait, did you win this week, Noah?
I did.
You did. Congratulations! He won his first week.
For some reason, I won. It was 110.04 to 101.07. I was like, okay, cool. I didn't expect that, and now my ranking's a B+ from a D. Like, okay, nice. That's great. You know.
They gave me an A+, but that's just because Josh Allen absolutely carried the entire league. But again, we'll get to that.
He did.
So.
Yeah.
Shout out number 2, we have the first elite celebration of the year when the Indianapolis Colts got a turnover from the Dolphins, one of Tua's interceptions. And I don't even know what this shimmy is. He gets down on his back and his butt and he starts going like, honestly, I kind of need to learn how to do that. I mean, you saw that, right? It's like a sideways worm. I don't know.
Good on you, guy. Good on you.
Well, the fact of the matter is, the celly was so good that after he did it, they got a shot of Tua on the sideline, like smiling and laughing. All right, like he's like, all right, I can't even be mad at that. That was pretty good.
He's laughing at what is he doing?
Yeah. He's like, hey, hold up. What's that guy doing?
This guy is funny, but not in the way I'm thinking.
So I wanted to give that a little shout out too, because we like to have fun here. Shout out number 3. This is one of the ones that I shared more recently. This is from the Monday night game, and it is the Bears goal line. Do you just see how not straight that is?
Nope.
So I know
that line is a concept.
So I know that they were having some issues with Soldier Field beforehand. Like there was videos coming out that it was looking patchy and not taken care of. But like this is wild. Like this is in a game of inches. It looks like a drunk man drew this line, you know, and it's on both sides too. It goes in and out and it curves.
A game of inches became a game of 2 feet.
Yep. It's like that one commercial where instead of moving the cone, they just drew the line for the side of the road around the cone, you know?
Yeah.
Right? It would be really funny, actually, is if in the end zone, instead of it being a straight line, there was parts that, like, indented a little bit, or it was a little curved on one side or extended out in a certain spot.
No, the end zone is the 3-point mark on a basketball field.
Yeah, there you go. So you got to get towards the center.
That's good.
Mm-hmm. And then I got a couple more before I get to the sad one. It's okay. Well, don't worry about it. One of them is our GOAT, Bryce Young, who was distracted. I wouldn't call it distracted because obviously there was a delay and, you know, during a TV timeout and whatnot. He didn't really have anything to do, so he's on the field and he's like tracking like the Jumbotron.
Where's the football on
on the Jumbotron? Dude, that's my go. I love that he would take the time to do that. Honestly, I'd probably get distracted with that too. And it's not like they were in the middle of a huddle or doing anything important, so who cares, right? But I just love that he's just like me for real, you know?
2. Two.
It's under number 2. Pick number 3, my lord.
My lord.
All right, what do we got? A couple more. So something going over the. Whoops, I hit the wrong button. That is not what I wanted to do. The Chargers and Chiefs game. God bless that the Chargers won. We're so happy for that. But imagine, if I had a nickel for every single time that one of the Chiefs superstars took out another Chiefs superstar, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's crazy that it happened twice. We had last year when Patrick Mahomes tore out, the ACL of one of his receivers, and now we have Travis Kelce who literally breaks the arm of the other receiver. I'm trying to remember his name.
Xavier Worthy.
Xavier Worthy, yeah. And it's just it's a brutal hit, and it's just, I don't know if someone's running the wrong route or not paying attention to where they're going, but it almost looks like he's throwing his shoulder into him. I know some people are like, it looks like he's trying to get away or trying to avoid contact. Xavier Worthy is obviously not looking at him, but Travis Kelce very much sees Xavier Worthy come in, and he just throws his shoulder into him. Incomplete pass. So I don't know what the current Illuminati thought process, what's the word I'm looking for? Conspiracy theory is on this, but there's something fishy going on. Or maybe they're just bad at football and Travis Kelce is getting old. I don't know.
I believe it.
The good news is Xavier Worthy, according to this article, has a dislocated shoulder and is listed as day-to-day.
All right, so he should be back.
He's not out for the year.
That's good. I mean, it's still the Chiefs, but I don't want to wish pain or suffering on anyone. I do hope a speedy recovery for him. And then this one's the last shout out, and it is pain and suffering. A sports bettor who has way more money than we do and throws it around willy-nilly bet $200,000 on the Ravens to win. Felt really good about himself up until the final couple minutes of the game, and then got absolutely clowned on by everyone around him. I can only imagine feeling so confident and then very slowly watching what would have been $200,000 slip away. This is why you don't gamble, kids. Or if you do gamble within your means, $200,000 is literally a house. It is literally a house in some areas. That's tragic. Don't do that. Don't be this guy.
Horrible. And horrible to bet on the Ravens winning, because
you should know better to bet on the Ravens.
Yeah, knowing what the Ravens are like, man, just that was a horrible bet.
I'm trying to figure out what jersey number he's wearing. It looks like it's 21. Do you know who 21 is on the Ravens?
I have no clue.
Either that or I can't tell. Look, maybe it's 71. I don't know. Looks like it's 21. But yeah, don't be that guy. Don't be that guy. Don't gamble, kids. It's not good for your health.
Nope. I have a shout out. I want to shout out the Baltimore Orioles winning against the Dodgers when the Dodgers were up 3-0. And then it was bottom of the ninth with 2 strikes, and the Orioles just somehow scored 4 runs and won that game. But then they lost the next night, so it's an even trade.
It all balances out. But not only, I don't know, because we pointed this out before.
It was a no-hitter.
It was a no-hitter. They were 2 strikes or just 1 out away from a no-hitter, when the Baltimore Orioles hit a home run to break the no-hitter, and then scored 3 more runs for a walk-off victory against the Dodgers. And honestly, it's the Dodgers. I have very little sympathy for the Dodgers, so let's go Orioles!
Let's go Orioles!
I will give my sympathy to the Dodgers in deferred payments. Thank you.
I'll give a little bit of sympathy a month at a time until next season.
Very tiny amount,
With most of it coming in 30 years.
Yeah.
True. All right, but we got some games that happened over the weekend. I'd like to pick out our teams specifically because those are always the most interesting ones, in my opinion. Does anyone want to go first?
I'll go first. I'll get it out of the way.
Get yours out of the way real quick.
God, it was bad. It was bad.
It was bad.
It was bad. We definitely saw first half of last year Bryce Young than the end of last year. what I noticed the most is that the line didn't seem to have it. The offensive line didn't seem to have it at all together, because they would be running. They get it in a play, they get down, and they'll still be pointing out defenders, like that guy and that guy. Blue 72, that guy, and there's 3-4 seconds left on the play clock. I'm just like, how do you not know? Snap the ball before you can delay a game. And whenever the ball was snapped, the center, um, he, he had bad snaps all game. Like, he kept snapping the ball too high. I get Bryce Young's not the tallest guy, but you gotta, when you're snapping the ball and it's coming to his shoulders and he's gotta sometimes jump to get it, that's not good. Throw on. There were a couple plays where our receivers, dropped a ball and didn't get didn't toe drag on a pass. Like, it was lazy. Like, it was an easy catch, but as a professional athlete, you're expected to get both feet in, and you just don't.
Right.
You don't help your quarterback, and Bryce Young didn't look good either. I mean, he had 3 turnovers. It would have been 4 if it wasn't for a defensive holding, and it was not good. I joked with my my buddy who I watched the game with after the first drive. It's like, hey, Bryce Young didn't throw an interception on his first drive like he did for the last 2.
Yep.
He saved that interception for the second drive.
Yep, there it is. If I remember correctly, at least one of the interceptions wasn't his fault, though, because it bounced off his receiver's hands.
That was the last one in garbage time, yeah.
So that one doesn't really count. So really, if anything, it's just the one interception to the 1 touchdown, but that one also came in garbage time. So are we counting that?
I would count the touchdown, because that one Chuba Hubbard actually earned. Like, it was a dump off pass. Chuba Hubbard makes a guy miss and then runs 30 yards for a touchdown. So I'll count that. Which, funny enough, that touchdown came after a a 4th and 10 pick 6 that Bryce Young threw that only didn't count because of a defensive holding. So yeah, so. But it's just rough. Look, I get 12 rookies on the team, and this, I feel like I hope what we saw last year wasn't just a flash in the pan, and now that we're turning to the mean with the beginning of this season. I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I still think that the Panthers have a higher ceiling. Like, I don't think that they reach top 10 level, but I do think that their ceiling is a lot higher than what we saw on Sunday. Like, their rush game, I watched a good portion of that game, and I think their run game is still really solid. Like, Chuba Hubbard still has it. He did great whenever he was given the ball. He did great catching the ball. Like you said at the very end, he got that touchdown. And so they do really well in the run game. They just need to be able to better protect Bryce Young. And then, of course, Bryce Young just needs to make better decisions. And all of it isn't on him either. It also is on these young receivers that when they do catch the ball, they're doing pretty good. But they need to catch the ball. It really is a team effort. And so everybody needs to elevate to that next level. It's not really just, okay, Bryce needs to play better. Okay, the receivers need to play better. It's everybody is just one step below where they need to. And if they all take that one step, then suddenly you're not turning the ball over. Suddenly you're converting those big 3rd downs. And suddenly, instead of losing 26-10, you might actually have yourselves in a ball game. But I can't really say much for the defense. The defense didn't really show up as much as they probably should have. So,
I mean,
0 sacks across the board. I mean, come on, it's Trevor Lawrence, guys.
Yeah, we're not gonna have a lot of pressure. I mean, on the first Jacksonville touchdown, the tight end starts on the left side, comes across the whole field, and our 2 linebackers just ignore him. Like, it's just like, someone's got to cover him, and so our linebacker group isn't the best, and it's probably last in the league. And so there's that. Plus, Bryce Young turned the ball over 3 times. That puts your defense behind an 8 ball when you turn the ball over. So.
And just quickly glancing at the Jaguars, like, Trevor Lawrence didn't play lights out. He was 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Like, 19-31, 178 yards. He looked okay. The place that the Panthers really got torched was the run game, and looking at the box score doesn't show
yards.
all of it. It is 200 yards, but like 70 of those came from one play, which is why Travis Etienne has 16. Etienne, sorry, my bad. Yeah. I don't speak French. He has 16 carries for 143 yards. You take away that 170-yarder, and it's 15 carries for 70 yards. Like half of those came from one. And that's a good stat line, but it's not this explosive stat line that it looks like it is. It's just
still giving up 130 yards when not on the ground usually won't win you games.
Oh, definitely not. And so that's where a lot of this really came from. Was there wasn't any really big breakouts except for that one rusher on the Jacksonville Jaguars. And so you're just, again, that one step away from this being an actual close game, in my opinion. But that's just what I saw from watching the game. But maybe that's because I always like to be a little high on these guys. I always have faith that the Carolina Panthers can do well. Probably shouldn't, but I do.
That makes one of us.
All right, Noah, do you want to do Lions Packers or Ravens Bills next?
I'll do my team.
You'll do yours?
Or do you want to go in order by which the games were?
I kind of want to go in order just because of the fact that I think like so first of all, it's like the scale of, or it's when it's like the morning game, the afternoon, the evening game, but also it's like the scale of an intensity of these games where it's all like, okay, one was a blowout, one was a pretty good game, and the other one was like, whoa, right?
Yes.
So yeah, I probably should have taken more notes with the Packers, but I mean, what can I say? They looked fantastic. Going up 2 touchdowns early on. I said this last week. For the Packers to win this game, they need to come out hot. They need to set the tone. They need to be the first to score. And they did what they usually do. Their plan is to win the coin toss and get the ball. And if they don't win the coin toss, the other team usually defers, which means they get the ball. So almost every Packer game I watch, they're starting with the ball. I don't have the exact stat, but I would guarantee that probably close to 14 to 15 out of the 17 games last year, they started with the ball. Most teams like to defer and then try to double up before halftime. The Packers like to get the ball first and go down the field and score and set the tone and make the other team play from behind. And the Packers were actually able to do it this time, got that score, got a stop on the Detroit Lions, went down again and got a field goal, then gave up a field goal themselves, but then went down 2 plays, 80 yards, and a touchdown. Like, that's how you set the tone. And from there, they just needed to... I think they kind of backed off a little bit too much. It is nice if you keep the pressure going, but a 27-13 box score at the end is pretty good. They held only 40-some-odd yards of rushing. The defense looked phenomenal with or without Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons was in on less than half the snaps, but the ones that he was in on, he made an impact. He had his one sack that looked like a lion emerging from the grass to feast on the gazelle. And
the other lion, not
the other lion,
not the
right?
actual Detroit Lions, but the other lion, yeah.
He looked like a lion hunting the lions, you know?
Yeah.
And whenever he was in, he was creating pressure to the point that was causing Jared Goff to be uncomfortable in the pocket. He had to let go of the ball sooner, which led to way more dump-off passes and even an interception. There was a statistic where was it Gibbs, Jahmyr Gibbs, for receiving? He had 10 receptions for 31 yards, which is the least amount of yards that any player has ever had off of 10 or more receptions, because he was the dump-off Andy, because that was the only place that Jared Goff could go because he didn't have time to throw it, and the coverage, surprisingly, is halfway decent. I didn't expect that to happen with the Packers. I was told our cornerback room sucked, and then we had we got rid of our best guy in Jair Alexander, and we had a wide receiver that turned cornerback that is, you know, struggling, and our other guy that we traded for, Nate Hobbs, is out. So I thought we didn't have quarterbacks, but you know what? We did pretty darn good. My one shout out for the game is Isaac Tesla. I did shout him out literally week 1 of the preseason. I said this kid is going to be special. And that toe tap touchdown that he got in garbage time at the end, that looked pretty special. He caught that over Corrington Valentine. Well, I don't remember his name. He caught that over Valentine, who is literally only given up like one other touchdown in the past year and a half. And so I think the Packers look pretty darn good. I'm really happy with that. Bring on Washington this Thursday. I'm ready for them.
Yeah, and it's good to note that the Lions only scored that one touchdown in garbage time, and that was it. They only did field goals, and otherwise the Packers were able to stop them, or the Lions did something that caused them to do a turnover.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
it was a really good change of seeing the Packers just doing good and seeing everyone being like excited about it, because you were there. We were all
Oh,
excited
yeah.
about it.
Ooh, I
We
was
were all excited
excited.
about it. It was so good. The energy was just incredible.
I loved
But yeah,
hearing Micah Parsons like post game. He's all like, "Man, when I got to walk out of the tunnel and the crowd erupted, it was nothing like you ever felt before."
absolutely. Yeah, I thought the Packers looked pretty good.
Mm,
Hopefully they do well against the Commanders on Thursday.
fingers
That's going to be
crossed.
a good game to watch.
Ruining my picks. Unbelievable.
I was always hopeful of my Packers. Not that I knew that they were going to win, but I was hopeful that they would win. And again, it comes down to this, like, it was a 45-55% thing. I think Packers win 45% of the time, and it just happened to be one of those 45% of the times, and even leaned a little further into that. The Packers did extra well, you know? Looked pretty good. All right, but how about this game of the week, the Baltimore Ravens
Yeah.
at the Buffalo
Yeah.
Bills? This one was wild.
Yeah, for this to be the game of the year is already insane, and it's great. Obviously, if you know me, I do not stay up late. I watched up until around halftime. And at the time the Ravens were ahead. They were ahead by a score or two. I think it was like a score and a half or something like that.
It was around. I wonder if I can get the box score up here. Yeah, it was 20-13 by the time you went to bed.
Something like that. Yeah, and what surprised me about it was that the Ravens did stay ahead the entire game until the last second. The last second, there were three things other than the defense, but there were three things that I noticed that probably could have turned things around. Tyler Loop on their final touchdown did not get the extra point. Had the game went around the same exact way that it did, the game would have went to overtime easily. So that didn't happen. Derrick Henry fumbling the ball at a very critical moment. That was the big thing, and I think the biggest thing, other than the defense, the biggest thing that caused the Ravens to end up losing on Sunday night. It was tough. It was like Derrick Henry rarely fumbles the ball, and when he does, it's like at the worst possible time. And then obviously during the 2-minute warning, when the Ravens had the ball, they couldn't get a first down. If they had gotten that first down, the game would have been over. But they weren't able to do that. And by some devil magic, which I'm thankful the Bills have at this time and not the Chiefs, the Bills were able to get ahead of the Ravens, which was honestly incredible to see that they were able to pick up their 15-point deficit in that short amount of time.
I don't know if it's ever been done before.
I don't think so either. Not at least in my lifetime. It hasn't
not in
been
like
done,
4 minutes.
done
I've
before.
seen I've seen fourth quarter comebacks. I've seen it was the Packers that erased a 17-point deficit in the fourth quarter. It was during Jordan Love's first year because they were down to the Saints. It was 17-0 and they ended up winning that game 18-17 by just 18 points in the fourth quarter. But like 22 points in the fourth quarter for the Bills and erasing a 15-point deficit in literally less than 5 minutes is insane. Like the final stats here, Lamar Jackson looked good with 209 yards and 2 touchdowns. Derrick Henry looked good for 169 yards and 2 touchdowns. But Josh Allen with almost 400 yards is crazy.
Incredible.
He single-handedly won me. He single-handedly won me fantasy this week, just easily. But no, I think you're absolutely right. One of the things that really caused this game to shift were those little moments, and those little moments adding up. Because it's like, if this one thing went differently, if this one thing went differently, if this one thing went differently, then this wouldn't have happened. And this is something that I think what makes football so special is these little moments that you can pick out. You're like, if this moment was changed, and if this one was changed, but at the same time, because Buffalo was able to convert the fourth downs and get the stops and capitalize off of fumbles. It becomes this magical time where their comeback feels alive, and almost every game is winnable until that final whistle. And the same thing happened with the Vikings and the Bears on Monday.
Yes, that is true.
The Bears looked like they were running away with it. JJ McCarthy looked so out of his element, and then little by little he started gaining his confidence. His receivers started catching the balls. He was taking off running, and they erased the deficit, took the lead, and walked away with the W. And so I think that's what's so magical about football, is just all of these moments that you can pinpoint and go, that right there, that was the turning point.
Yeah. It's funny when the Chicago Bears lose to a deficit, but when the Ravens do it,
here's the thing, though, and this is something I was talking to Noah about earlier, is the fact that between the Bills and the Ravens, I really wanted to see them both win. And the fact that the Bills are the ones that won is understandable, because these are both still good teams. One of these teams put up 40 and the other team put up 41, and those are still two of the most, if not the most highest scoring teams in the first week of football. These are your two juggernauts that just went head to head and had a really good battle, and one of them slightly came out over the other one. I don't think it's over at all for the Ravens. I think they could still finish the season 16-1 at this point, and the Bills have a good chance of going 17-0 because they're both that good. But one of these teams had to win, and so the one that won happened to win. You look at these two, and it's Batman versus Superman. You like both of them, and you hope both of them are going to win, but only one of them can win. And then over there, you got the Chiefs, who's Lex Luthor or whoever, stupid, ugly, and it's like, as long as that guy's not winning, that's fine. I like both Batman and Superman. Either one of them can win as long as they beat Lex Luthor the following week. You know?
Yep, absolutely.
You got anything to add, Tom?
You mentioned two of the highest scoring teams this week. Yeah, Indiana Jones had something to say about that.
Okay, what did they end with? 33? Is that what it was?
Yeah, I thought it was 33 to like 12 or something, or some low score.
He scored on every drive.
Every drive. That's crazy.
Yeah. Danny Dimes.
33 to 8. I thought it was
33 to 8 is kind of crazy. Yeah. I did want to talk about this. That's a great segue there, Tom. Look at you thinking ahead. So here's the real question. This is a game that I don't think anyone really paid attention to watching at first, but it's really something that caught a lot of people's eyes because they figured the Dolphins would be mid and the Colts would be bad. And now the question is, are the Dolphins really bad, or are the Colts actually good?
I'm not ready to sign on the Colts being good.
Oh, me neither. Definitely.
Me neither. The Dolphins are just like honestly, just like every time I think of the Dolphins, I'm just like, they exist still? Like they're not Dayton Triangled yet? Like what happened? You know? Like come on.
So maybe they should move to Daytona.
True.
That's right down the road.
I think with Daniel Jones putting up 22 for 29, 272 and a touchdown, that's a good stat. And you know what? And that's what people wanted to see from him in New York. It's not.
That's a $40 million quarterback.
Yeah. Okay. Listen, it's not the it's not the Lamar Jackson. It's not the Josh Allen. It's not even the Aaron Rodgers who came in with 4 touchdowns this week either. But he's finally looking competent, right? And so Indy actually looks like they could be a 9-8 football team. Are they good? No, I think the Dolphins just really fell off. Tua had 2 interceptions. They call him Tua turn the ball over, you know? I just think that they struck gold with this first week where they got to show their competency against a team that was really struggling and falling off. Especially being at home where you get all that momentum. If this was in Miami, the tides might have been turned, and if they were playing any other team, it definitely could have been different. But at least here, looking at what I saw with the highlights and the box score, if the Colts play the Titans, I think I'd actually take the Colts now. If the Colts play the Saints, I'd easily take the Colts. And if the Colts play an actual other competent team like the Cardinals, that might be a toss-up. I don't know. Am I ready to say the Colts are a top 10 team? Not even close. But they're competent.
Yep. They're playing the Broncos.
Are they playing the Broncos next?
Week.
Oh.
Yeah.
I don't know about that one.
So that one, I don't think that's a toss-up at all. But we'll get to that later.
Yeah. Well, maybe they're future games. They do play the Titans twice, so hey, maybe they do pull off 2 wins there. And I do like that.
I thought they were going to play them twice regardless, but
I do like that. I do like that nickname that they gave him, Indiana Jones, because it's Daniel Jones in Indianapolis is in Indiana. So
I can no do has the words.
I can no do has the words.
Do has the words.
So true. Yep. All right. Was there any other specific games you guys wanted to pick out? Anyone that surprised you specifically?
Jets Steelers.
Okay, yeah, no, actually, that's a really good point.
Honestly, the Jets just looked incredible compared to last season.
But so did the Steelers, right?
Yeah. I was actually surprised by that too. Like Aaron Rodgers actually doing well in the Steelers. Like, I didn't expect that. That was a little bit out of left field. Justin Fields, though, he didn't do that bad. The Jets looked pretty good. Their defense looked pretty good. Their offensive line looked pretty good. Like that game was fun to watch as like the first like as one of the 1 o'clock games of just like, man, they are really they're not at the level of, they're probably higher level, I should say, than the Colts are.
Oh, definitely. I still think I'd take either of these teams over the Colts.
Overall power ranking, yeah. So like I really think the Jets are gonna do pretty well this season. Whether they make it to the playoffs is another question.
Mm-hmm.
So
I could see either of these teams sneaking in as a contender for a wild card easily. And
for sure.
Before the Sunday night game happened, this was like my game of the week where I was like, wow, that was a really good game. That was fun to watch. I kind of didn't get that satisfaction of Aaron Rodgers hate watching because he did throw for 4 touchdowns and 0 turnovers, but it made for some pretty good football.
It did.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't my quarterback do that? Why does the oldest guy in the league get to do that, but my quarterback can't? It's not fair.
All right, Tom, genuine question. Would you trade Bryce Young for Aaron Rodgers?
But then you would have a good quarterback, at least.
I don't want
a decent quarterback.
No, thanks.
You don't want Aaron Rodgers?
No, I'd rather go swimming.
What if Lamar Jackson was traded to the Carolina Panthers? How would you feel about that?
You know how Aaron reacted last week?
Micah Parsons, yes.
That's so real, actually.
Honestly, very fair of you, sir. Very fair.
Mm-hmm. All right,
and laps around this apartment.
There's one more point I wanted to make. I want to bring this up. The AFC West. Would you look at those standings?
Weird.
A little weird. That what is this? The Chargers at 1-0, the Broncos at 1-0, the Raiders at 1-0, and then the Chiefs. The Chiefs at 0-1.
Wow.
Just like God intended. Nature is healing.
Society
Football
is healing.
Back.
Finally.
You know something.
Real head scratch on that one.
Something's flipped on its head when the Chiefs are at the bottom of the AFC West and the Bengals win Week 1.
True.
What are we doing? What is this?
That game a win. Barely, but they won. So
they did. Hey, a win is a win. What matters at the end of the day is that there's a W in the record book. But not only are the Chiefs like the bottom of their division right now, they've given up the most points. The Chargers only gave up 21, and that was to the Chiefs. And then the Raiders only gave up 13, and the Broncos only gave up 12. Granted, they didn't play the strongest teams, but the Raiders were not favored in their matchup and still came out with a win. And the Broncos defense literally was the number 1 defense of the league this week. I know, again, it's against the Titans, but 6 sacks is nothing to shake a stick at.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So I'm just happy that that the Chiefs' reign is over for 1 week.
Yeah. See, here's the thing. After this week of games, I feel like that this season of football is going to be extremely competitive.
I was thinking that coming into it, I was like, wait,
seasons.
This team is supposed to be good. Wait, this team is supposed to be good. Wait, this team is supposed to be good.
It's gonna be.
I think we all called it out
competitive.
early on that the AFC West is going to be really competitive against all 4 of these teams. The Chiefs might not even take the division, and who knows who's going to end up first or last. People still think the Raiders are going to be last, but they actually still have a chance of being first or second. And it's really the most up in the air division so far this year. It's kind of like what everyone thought the NFC North was last year. And a lot of these other teams, even though the Bills are alone at the top of the AFC East, they look pretty good. The Jets look like they could be competitive. The Patriots have a chance to be competitive. And the AFC North even more so with the Bengals, the Bengals, Steelers, and Ravens all are fantastic teams. The Ravens are in third place right now just because they didn't win their first week, but that easily changes over the next 3 or 4 weeks. I would love to see where this ends up by week 5. I still expect the Browns to be 0-5, but between the Ravens, Steelers, and Bengals, this is a toss-up.
The Cincinnati Bengals, I hardly know
The
it.
Bangers. Yo, that's a banger, bro.
The new AFC Northwest division.
Like, there's a lot of interesting things happening all over right now. The NFC North is going to be really interesting because I think the Packers are going to run away with it now just because of their dominance over the Lions, and the Vikings and the Bears look mid, but you still never know. JJ McCarthy could end up being hot over the next few weeks. All he needs to do is get into his groove. It only took him 3 quarters to get into his groove last night, and if he just carries that over to the next game, they could look good by the end of the season. The Packers don't play the Vikings until much, much later, so they have all of that time to develop and be able to scheme against the Packers to make that a pretty decent matchup. So you never know.
Wild how the tides have changed in football.
So let me ask you guys this. What do we think are our top 5 teams in the league? I haven't seen any power rankings from the NFL. I don't think they come out until Wednesdays. But what are you guys thinking are the top 5 teams?
Bills definitely number 1. Absolutely.
Here, let me like write this down. You think Bills are number 1? Like number 1 Bills?
I think so.
I think so too. I want to say the Ravens are up there as well at number 2.
I wouldn't put the Ravens.
You wouldn't put Ravens? Do you think Eagles are at number 2?
Yeah, I'd probably put Eagles at 2.
Yeah, I put Ravens at 4.
Put Ravens at 4?
Yeah.
You gotta win games.
I know you gotta win games, but
right
okay, so like the
right
Ravens were competitive against what we consider the number 1 team. I think that should be something to be put into contention.
Which is why they don't go down as far as people think. I would give Ravens 5 or something like that.
Yeah,
I think 4 is healthy. But then who goes at 3? What do you think is at 3? I'm putting the Packers at 5, if that's okay, right?
Sure.
I think the Packers shown, because everyone was saying the Lions were a top 3 team. It was like Eagles, Chiefs, Lions, Bills, and Ravens. That was everybody's top 5 in no particular order. With such a dominant showing over the Lions, I feel like the Packers at least leapfrog that and like sit cozy in that number 5 spot. Because they didn't just win. They showed dominance over what was expected to be a top 5 team. So
it's still week 1. We still don't know. Put the Colts at 3.
Yo, Colts! All right, baby. Number 3 is the Colts. We got the Bills, Eagles, Colts, Ravens, Packers.
Yeah,
insane.
If we didn't pit the Colts, I was gonna say the Chargers too. But honestly, the Colts is the better answer.
We'll see how the season shakes out.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Because I don't know. Seeing what the Chiefs did, I don't think the Chiefs are a top 5 team right now. I just don't. I think that the Chargers look good and the Chiefs looked bad. I don't think the Chargers look fantastic, but I don't think the Chargers look good, or the Chiefs look good. I really do think that they just look bad. They could slip in the top 10 still, somewhere between 6 and 10, but they are not top 5 right now in my eyes. I think that the Bengals are better than them right now. I think the Steelers are better than them right now. But we'll have to see. We have a whole lot of football left to go. But for our Sad Fans Power Rankings, which you should not take seriously whatsoever, we've got number 1, Bills, number 2, Eagles, number 3, Indianapolis Colts, the sleeper pick,
let's go.
Number 4, Ravens, and number 5, Green Bay, mother-loving Packers.
Yep.
There
we go.
Mark it. The Colts are going 17-0.
Forget the Bills.
Forget them. All right, you guys want to take a look at the upcoming games real quick and do a run through?
Yep, we were 10-6.
You know what's so ironic is that us as a group went 10-6, but all of us individually either did the same or better.
Yep.
I went 10-6.
I think that's so ironic. It's like, how did we, like, coming together as a group not, like, do better than all of us individually? That's so interesting. All right. Let's start with the obvious. The Thursday night game, we got the Washington Commanders visiting the Green Bay Packers. What are we thinking?
If this was played in Washington, I'd say Washington because it's 9/11 Memorial. But since this is in Green Bay, I'll go Packers.
Are you saying Green Bay doesn't care about 9/11?
Correct.
I will also pick the Packers, but because I'm a resident Packer.
Homer Simpson.
The Homer Simpson pick, But no, I think the Packers actually have a really good shot at this. The Commanders played the Giants. The Giants are not a great team. They looked horrible, and the Commanders still only kind of did okay against them. They
Even with Russell Wilson, the Giants just did their thing, as I said.
No, the Commanders did not look like the Commanders last year that just trounced the Lions in the divisional round of the playoffs. This is not the same Commanders team. So although they're coming in with a win, they just didn't look like they were ready to play like the Packers were against the Lions last week. So I'm very high on the Packers, not just biasly, but because I think the Packers look like the better team right now.
Absolutely. All
right, then we got the morning game on Sunday, several morning games. Jacksonville Jaguars at Cincinnati Bengals. What are we thinking?
Bengals.
That's just sad that the Jacksonville Jaguars are 1-0. I'm picking Bengals here.
They played the Panthers.
Yeah, I know, but the Panthers deserve that win.
Not the way they played, but
not the way they played.
We wish that they did. All right, then we've got New York Giants at Dallas Cowboys.
Definitely Cowboys here.
Cowboys. The Cowboys actually didn't look bad. I know that they lost Micah Parsons and they were playing against the Super Bowl champs Eagles, but they were in that game for a while, and the only reason they lost is because of some key drops by CeeDee Lamb. But I guess to be fair, the Eagles were short a defensive player because of Spitgate. So
that is true.
The Eagles also didn't really utilize A.J. Brown last week. Like, there was zero passing game. They relied heavily on the run, and the Dallas really just didn't have a stop for the run. Luckily, New York doesn't have a passing game or a running game, so I think Dallas has a good shot this week.
I believe it.
Then we've got the Chicago Bears at the Detroit Lions.
2 back-to-back divisional games for both of these teams.
I know. I thought that was interesting. So last year, I don't know if you knew this, the reason why the Packers started 4-2 or 5-1, and the Lions and the Vikings started off 6-0, and the Bears even started off 4-2, and why that division looks so good is because none of them played each other to start. None of them had a single division game, which means none of the losses came from each other, which means they could just stack up wins without having to hand each other losses. But now we don't get to do that. Everyone has to go against each other. So no matter what, through the first 2 weeks, there has to be at least a loss given out 2 losses given out every single week because of all these divisional matchups.
Yep.
So, Lions.
This stat comes from CBS Sports. There's only been 2 coaches in the past 10 years who have lost their head coaching debut after leading by double digits in the fourth quarter. Ben Johnson and Matt Nagy, both for the Bears.
Both for the Bears.
So the Bears are going to lose this game.
It's a very Bear thing to do.
I'll pick the Lions.
I'll take the Lions. The most Bear thing to do is to start 0-2.
Yep.
Shout out the Bears. All right, we've got the Los Angeles Rams at the Tennessee Titans.
Rams.
Titans. No, it's Rams. I would have been outvoted anyway. Yeah, no, it's the Rams. The Rams looked all right. They scored a couple touchdowns. The Houston defense is actually pretty decent, so the fact that they were able to go down and score like they did, I think Houston had a chance at that if they actually scored, but they didn't. They had to rely on field goals, and that was their downfall. So.
Yep.
Next up, we got the Patriots at the Dolphins. Now, before you say anything, the Dolphins are favored.
Okay, which is crazy.
Yeah, Patriots? I'm a Patriots pickers? Any Patriots pickers?
Yeah, Patriots.
All right, Patriots. I just think it's so
I am personally going to pick the underdog here.
You're going to pick the Patriots. All right.
I'm I'm picking the Dolphins, but
you're picking the Dolphins. They're not the underdog. They're favored. They're at home.
But they're favored because they sucked last week. Okay,
is that what makes them favored? Because they sucked?
Yes.
How does that make sense?
The underdog. Yes.
So Vegas stat line is all like, well, you see, the thing is they're underdogs, so they're favored by 3 points.
That's a question mark for me, dog. But live your best life.
We don't work off of logic here. We pick with our hearts.
I go by intuition here. So.
Sometimes I flip a coin. All right, San Francisco 49ers at the New Orleans Saints.
The bye week.
No, the bye week.
The week 2 bye week, yeah.
So we take the 49ers.
49ers, yep.
Then we've got the Buffalo Bills at the New York Jets at MetLife Stadium.
I'm definitely
business as usual.
Business as usual, Bills.
Yep.
Come on, but Justin Fields.
They're 17-0. No.
I gotta keep the 17-0 dream alive. The Bills are going 17-0. I said it the very first week, the very first preseason week. I said it, and I'm going to stick by that. Bills 17-0 year. All right, then we got Seattle Seahawks at the Pittsburgh Steelers.
I really think the Steelers got this one in the bag. There's no shot.
And they're at home, so honestly, I'm with you. Sam Darnold.
Steelers fans are nuts.
They are. They're crazy. Like, I think they went through, like, the most insane fan bases, and the top 3 were, like, Steelers, Cowboys, and Raiders. And then Philly's up there, too. I know that. So, out of the top 4, they're up there, though. Absolutely insane fan bases. But Steelers? Everyone's Steelers?
Yeah, we agree.
Steelers.
Yeah, we haven't even had any conflicts yet. That's great, except for me choosing the Titans, to be funny.
And me choosing the
Dolphins.
Yep.
All right. Who's winning between the Cleveland Browns at the Baltimore Ravens?
I mean, Joe Flacco or
Joe
my
Flacco
team.
revenge game. Come on.
Ravens.
Yeah.
The Ravens are 98% picked at a minus 900. I don't think anyone else is that favored. Nobody else all week is that favored.
That's a deep money line. But if the Browns end up winning this, I'm switching allegiances to Packers. Like,
if you were to put $1,000 on the Baltimore Ravens to win, your payback would only be like $15.
1,001. Yeah.
Yeah, right. Like you would get like nothing back from that.
I would get $1
that favored
in profit. Yeah, like no.
Congratulations, you've won. Here's a lollipop.
Yeah, right. All right, now we've got the Denver Broncos going into Indy to go against the Indianapolis Colts. What are we thinking? Is Indy the upset?
With Indy's performance, this became a much better game. No,
right?
I'm also pick Broncos.
Yeah.
I honestly, I think this is closer than what it looks like it will be.
Yeah.
Weirdly enough, so the Broncos are picked 72%, right? Like 7 out of 10 people pick the Broncos. But the Vegas betting line is minus 130 to plus 110, which is actually pretty close to 50-50.
That is close.
So I think Vegas knows that this is going to be closer than it looks, and I believe that this is going to be closer than it looks. I still think the Denver Broncos pull this one out, but don't be surprised if this flip-flops, is all I'm saying.
Yeah, I really think I'm personally picking the Colts for this.
You're picking the Colts.
Yes, I'm picking the Colts. I have a little bit of faith in Danny Dimes. Only a little bit, though.
You know what? Let's get crazy. We're going Indianapolis Colts, baby. Let's go. Sorry, Tom. Let's go Indianapolis Colts.
The only veto that can be used here, okay?
That's all right.
Because
I'm just saying, this might actually be the sleeper pick of the week. The Broncos' defense looked good, but Bo Nix, threw 2 interceptions last week? They really didn't get good. They only had the 1 touchdown. So
and honestly, the Colts performing against the Dolphins could just be like
Could be a
So,
fluke, but it could be a sign of something
a
more.
definite fluke, absolutely.
But I expect this to be low scoring and a slog, if anything, right?
I believe it.
Take the under on this game. And if I'm wrong about this, you can clip it. That's totally fine.
There you go.
All right, then we've got the Carolina Panthers at the Arizona Cardinals. What are we thinking, guys?
Wow. Yeah. Let's see. Going back to let's just say 2020, Panthers are 3-1 against the Cardinals.
Oh, so they win more than they don't.
Yeah, and the all-time series is 15-6 Panthers over the Cardinals.
We also had Cam Newton back then.
Yeah. However, I'm picking the Cardinals.
Yeah.
You're picking the Cardinals? All right, we'll pick the Cardinals. I wanted to believe in the Panthers, but even in my personal picks, I picked the Cardinals. I'm sorry. Yeah, but I'm cheering for the Panthers. This is one of those like late afternoon games. So hey, maybe we'll have it up and watch it. Except for the fact that everybody's going to be watching the Eagles at the Chiefs. So what are we thinking? Philadelphia Eagles at the Kansas City Chiefs. Super Bowl rematch, but this time in Arrowhead.
I had to pick against the Chiefs.
You have to pick against the Chiefs? Well, then you know what? I'm going to choose the Chiefs because they're at home and they're due for a bounce back, and I'm going to put this decision on Tom. Tom, what are you thinking?
Google flip a coin. Head Eagles, tails Chiefs. Tails, pick the Chiefs.
All right, we're going Chiefs. Sorry, I know you want to pick against the Chiefs, but they are at home, and the Chiefs aren't all that bad.
No, I am picking the Eagles personally.
The Eagles were like weirdly only decent against the Cowboys. I know people wanted it to look dominant, but their defense wasn't all there, and all they really utilized was their run game. They had a couple key passes when they needed it, but for the most part, it was check down to Saquon Barkley, run it with Saquon Barkley. Hurts back to pass, nobody's open, he's just going to run it in for a touchdown. Twice. That was literally the whole thing. And I think the Chiefs are a lot better at locking that down than the Cowboys are. So
I believe it.
There's a reason why this one is also pretty close at a minus 120 plus 100. It just so happens that America is really high on the Eagles, or they just hate the Chiefs that much. Either way, I'm not looking forward to this game. I'm going to be annoyed no matter who wins, but I'm picking the Chiefs. All right, then the Sunday night game, which interesting that this is the night game, but all right. The Atlanta Falcons at the Minnesota Vikings. What do we think?
I really think Minnesota's got this one in the bag.
You think Minnesota has this one in the bag?
I think so.
What we see here is two different teams that ended their game last week against a division rival that the final outcome came down to 3 points. And the difference here is that the Minnesota Vikings led an incredible comeback in the fourth quarter, and the Atlanta Falcons missed a field goal that would have tied it. But both of these teams are competitive, and I think that's something that should be noticed. Even though Minnesota is an 81% pick rate, I think that this is closer to 50-50 than people realize as well.
I have the Falcons.
You have the Falcons and Noah has the Vikings?
Yeah.
I say let's get spicy. I was actually thinking the Falcons. I think they have the better run game. I do. The Minnesota Vikings are decent, but I think the Atlanta Falcons are a much more established team right now.
I flipped the coin, it said head, so I guess it's Falcons.
Falcons, let's go! Hey. Then we've got the Monday night doubleheader. Tampa Bay Buccaneers at Houston Texans for our first game. What are we thinking?
I'll go Bucks.
So the Texans are favored, but the Bucks have a higher pick rate.
Yeah.
It's interesting how that works.
I was leaning towards Houston personally.
You leaving this one on me again, or?
But their performance at their season opener, like, it wasn't as good as I would have hoped for out of CJ Stroud.
I agree with you. I do 100%.
I guess I'll agree with Tom here and go with the Buccaneers.
I think I'm with Tom as well. I think all three of us choose
Yeah.
the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And a big reason for that is not just that Baker Mayfield is back and he has all his weapons again, but they got that new rookie, right, who came in and caught 2 touchdown passes. They look solid. They're a very complete team right now.
Yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then the final game of the week, late night Monday, 10 p.m. your guys' time. You know you're going to want to stay up for that one.
Nope.
The LA Chargers at the Las Vegas Raiders.
Chargers,
yeah, sorry, not even a discussion. I don't think that this is going to be an absolute domination. I think it'll be like 30-20, but it'll at least be fun to watch, I think there'll be more scoring here than maybe people would expect because both of these teams actually have pretty good offenses and okay defenses. Because the Chargers let up 21 points from the Chiefs when the Chiefs looked bad and lost 2 of their star wideouts. And the Raiders are on an upswing when it comes to their offense. So this is one where it's the opposite of the Indy game, where I think you'll actually expect more scoring on this one. So that's just me personally.
I believe it.
All right, but that's all our 16 picks. Don't follow our picks if you actually want to win, guys. That's my advice to you.
Gamble responsibly.
Don't gamble. Gamble responsibly, but also don't gamble.
Not worth it.
$200,000. Just not on the Ravens, because if you do, they're doomed to lose.
Yep.
All right, Tom, did you have a game for us this week?
I did have a game for us this week.
Yeah?
And you had mentioned it earlier in the podcast. Records.
Yeah.
Records. I went and found some of the more interesting single season records because with the beginning of a new season, one thinks, oh, maybe this record will be broken this year. And then I got to thinking, with 18 games possibly being on the itinerary, or the schedule coming up, that these new records that were set when we moved from 16 to 17, they might be broken again.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to see if you two boys can figure out who holds these records.
Ooh.
I've pulled 6 from easy to okay. That's a little tough.
I'm ready.
So the first record, I want to see you boys know, single season passing touchdowns. Who holds the record?
Is it Tom Brady?
It is not.
Your turn, Noah. Take a guess. I have like 3 more guesses in the back of my mind. So,
sorry, what was the record again?
Passing
single
touchdowns.
season passing touchdowns. Who holds the record?
If Noah skips, can I guess again?
Patrick Mahomes.
It's not Patrick Mahomes.
Me.
Yes,
is it Peyton Manning?
It is Peyton Manning.
That was my second guess. Peyton Manning was crazy early in his career. Mm-hmm. This was before 17 games.
Yes. In 2013, Peyton Manning had 55 touchdowns.
That's crazy. Ooh, only a handful have had over 50.
That's insane.
Has Aaron Rodgers got? I don't think Aaron Rodgers has even gotten over 50. I think the most he had was in the high 40s. Even Lamar Jackson last year had 48, right?
I think so.
Mm-hmm. 48-3, I think.
Yeah, not a lot of people passed over 50. Only a select few, and Peyton Manning's one of them.
Yep.
Peyton Manning 55. All right, very good. All right, next record: single season receiving yards. Who has the most receiving yards? Aaron.
Jerry Rice.
Incorrect.
What? What do you mean it's not Jerry Rice? He's on my backyard football team. Want me to show you my backyard football stats?
Noah, do you have a guess?
I would have no idea who names for any of these players. Who would what position would this person play?
Wide receiver.
Wide receiver.
Wide receiver. Is there a year for the record?
I will give you the year 2012.
2012. Ooh.
Can I have a second guess?
Yes, go ahead.
Was it Megatron?
It was Calvin Johnson.
Calvin Johnson, let's go. He went by Megatron because he was that good.
Oh, he did?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. See, I don't even know that name. So I don't know any of these names.
That's all right.
Yeah, you are recently new to the fandom, so you get a pass.
True.
This is us teaching you. So
Yes.
Calvin Johnson had 1,964 yards in one season.
Jeez. And again, this is before 17 games. So just so you know, he was on the Detroit Lions back when Matthew Stafford was first starting out.
Bonus points if you guys can quickly guess who the number 2 receiver on this list is.
Is it not Jerry Rice?
He's number 4.
How is he number 4? He's the all-time receiving leader. Did he just play that many years?
Yeah, he did.
That's crazy.
Any guess, Noah? Throw out a random name.
Can you tell me the team?
If you would have said Cooper Kupp, you would have been right.
Cooper Kupp? I know he was good, but no wonder so many people were high on him.
In 2021, he had 1,947.
And you know what's ironic? His quarterback was also Matthew Stafford.
Yeah.
There's your fun fact.
There you go.
All right, next. All right, very good. Now we'll step it up a little. Record number 3, single season defensive interception record. I'm looking for the defensive player with the most interception in a single season.
Al Harris, Green Bay Packers.
No.
Dang.
I'm just going to give you the year now. It's 1952.
That's out of my head.
Al Harris was not alive then.
My genes didn't exist at that time, you know?
Matthew Johnson.
No.
Barry Sanders.
Was it even on a team that's still in the league?
Yeah, he played for the Los Angeles Lambs.
Okay, so I guess because they went from Los Angeles to St. Louis back to. Yeah, I'm not gonna be able to get this one. I don't know this name.
He went by Night Train Lane. His real name.
Night Train Lane.
What was the real name you cut out?
Richard Lane was his real name. Yeah.
That might be way back there, back of my head.
Yeah, he had 14 interceptions in a single season.
To be fair, so number one, back then they only played 14 games, so he was averaging an interception per game. But also back then, quarterbacks weren't all that great and were throwing 8 interceptions per game before even getting pulled, right? I think the record for most interceptions in a game is like 9, and I'm surprised. I'm surprised that guy didn't get pulled after like the third one. You know,
that's wild.
But this defensive player intercepted the ball 14 times. Crazy. That's the record.
That's incredible.
Next record. Who scored the most points in a single season?
I feel like
I'll let you guess first because I have a decent guess myself.
What's the year of the stat?
2006.
Yeah. I didn't even watch football back in 2006.
You could just take a guess of any team because I think pretty much all of them were here.
Why?
This is a player, single player who's
a single player.
My first thought was Ray Rice, but I know that's wrong.
No, here's the thing. Sneakily, here's your little tip, Noah. The highest scoring player on just about every single football team is usually the kicker.
Usually the kicker. I wouldn't even know who the kicker is on the Ravens if I had to take a guess, but I have no idea.
It was not the Ravens kicker in 2006.
But was it a kicker?
It was not.
It wasn't. Wow.
No.
Can you tell me which position it was? Like, are we talking about does a quarterback throwing a touchdown count, or does it actually have to be the person with the ball in the end zone?
The player has to have the ball in the end zone. This is a running back.
Yeah, I figured it was a running back if that was the case. 2006. The first thing that comes to my mind is Alexander on the Seahawks.
No.
He had a lot of rushing touctouchdowns.
This player's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, in 2006.
Not Ray Rice. Got it. And I was about to say Ray Lewis, but he was the defensive player, so no, that
would be crazy if Ray Lewis.
It would be crazy, yeah.
A defensive player scored 186
as a running back. Yeah.
LaDainian
the record
Tomlinson?
It is LaDainian Tomlinson. He scored 186 points.
That's crazy. So running back for the Chargers, Noah.
Okay, gotcha.
Was this during the Phillip Rivers era?
It was, yes.
All right.
You said San Diego, right?
San Diego Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
I knew that. I knew they were in San Diego at one point.
I had to like dig deep for that one. I was all like, all-time running back. Wasn't Adrian Peterson.
Nope.
I'm sure he's up there though.
All right. Stepping up the difficulty a little bit now.
Oh, off of like most interceptions from 1952. Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry that was when the record was set and no one else can get that many.
My bad.
Now, Aaron, tell me which punter has the most punt yards in a single season.
Is it the Bears punter from last year?
No.
That would be funny if that was
That would
That would
be
be
really
really funny. Yeah, I'm going to score a lot, so you won't have to work as. No, it's not. I will give you this. This record was set in 2012.
Okay, so semi-recent-ish. Yo, is it Pat McAfee?
No, it is not Pat McAfee.
Man, I was
Could
hopeful.
you imagine if it was?
Do I know any other punters? I don't think I can name a punter now. Let alone
No.
from years ago.
This punter had 5,209 punting yards.
That team must have been bad.
The Arizona Cardinals.
Really?
Oh, I see.
Hey, can you give me a name?
No, I can't.
No,
I could maybe tell you the quarterback. Was that back when he's the announcer now. What's his name?
I don't know who
I don't remember.
What?
know.
No, I'm trying to think because who's the greatest show on turf guy? Who's that guy?
Oh gosh, now it's slipping my mind.
I know, right?
I would have no idea.
He was on.
Well, I'll tell you this: in 2012, the Cardinals had multiple quarterbacks with John Skelton, Kevin Knobb, and rookie Ryan Lindley, and a brief appearance by Brian Hoyer.
Okay, so definitely not what I was thinking. Honestly,
so not good, and that's why this.
I give up.
Yeah,
I don't know any punters. What's his name?
His name is Dave Zastudil. His last name is spelled Zastudil.
And was it that he was that good of a punter, or that the Arizona Cardinals were that bad?
Probably both.
Probably both. I believe.
Funny enough, when he first came into the league, he was the Ravens.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Yeah. All right. And last one. Tell me the defensive player that has scored the most safeties.
It's definitely not a recent year, that's for sure, right?
Not at all.
Is it in one season or is it all time?
All time. Tell me, this is an all-time record.
Okay.
You know, this is not a single season, so this is one. But tell me, which defensive player has scored the most safeties?
Is this one Ray Lewis?
No.
Dang.
No. Is he on the list?
I would imagine he probably had scored a safety in.
At some
maybe
point.
he just won.
I know. I'm trying to
Maybe
think. Is
one.
there anyone who's even gotten more than one? What is the number?
Yeah.
Is it like 4?
It's 2.
Okay, that's my point. It's 2. Who did it twice? It's one of those. If I had a nickel, I'd have 2 nickels. Is he the only player that's ever done it twice? Is that what the stat is?
No.
Okay, so there's more than one player that's done it twice.
There are
What
19.
team?
There's 19 players that did it twice.
19?
You name one of the 19 players.
No, I can't name one of the 19 players. Are you kidding me? None of them are Ray Lewis.
Kyle Hamilton.
I'm looking at the list. No,
AJ
he's
Hawk?
not on it. No.
Are any of them from the past 20 years?
Terrell
Yes.
Suggs.
Yes. Are any of them in the
Yes,
league
there's
right
one.
now?
No, he's retired.
Terrell Suggs.
No, he's not on my list.
Man.
I can't even think of any defensive players. My
Ray-
brain is just
Ray-
lost.
Ray Lewis. I think we already said Ray Lewis.
Yo, wait, I've got to guess. Is it Ray Lewis?
I think we already said that 3 times
Are
now.
you sure? I don't know.
Let me check my list again. No.
All right, here's a better game. You start naming off the names, and I'll let you know how many I actually recognize.
All right. Jared Allen.
Nope.
Nope.
He was a Vikings player. Very good. I think he's in the Hall of Fame. He actually played on. He got traded to the Panthers in the 15-1 season. So that was a guy from the past 20 years.
Gotcha.
All right. Benny Barnes.
Nope.
Don Blackman.
Nope.
Roger Brown.
Nope.
Fred Dreyer.
Nope.
Doug English.
Nope.
That name does sound familiar, actually. Only slightly.
What year was that? What year is he?
I didn't write that down. I just
I don't know
either. Junior Gillette.
Nope.
Bert Grossman.
Nope.
Who the hell?
Tim Harris.
Nope.
Justin Houston.
Nope.
Nope.
Brian Jordan.
Nope.
Brian Jordan.
It's two first names.
Yeah. Jameel McLean.
Nope.
Ron McDowell.
Nope.
Tom Nash.
Maybe I've heard of that one.
Tom Nash. Maybe. We got one maybe.
got
Alan
one
Page.
Nope.
Rod Stevens.
Nope.
Willow Wilkin.
Nope.
Bryant Young.
No.
Young.
And the last one on my list, Jim Young.
Are they brothers?
I have no idea. I didn't write that down.
I don't. There's one maybe in there.
To be fair, of these 19, I only know one. So.
That's the one from the past 20
Youngs.
years.
Yeah. So we have 19 players tied who have scored 2 safeties, and then everyone else who has scored 1 is tied for.
Well, all we need is, what was his name, Jim Allen, to come back into the league and score 1 more to take that number 1 spot.
Yep.
You know what? I learned something new today, and we got to teach Noah who Megatron was. So
Yeah.
Yes. I love Transformers.
I feel enlightened.
Yes. Indeed.
Thank you for playing my silly game.
I appreciate it. That was a good one. I love that one. We'll have to come up with an even better one next week. I don't know how we're going to top 19 first place for 2 safeties, though. That's crazy.
That's incredible.
Anyway, for those who watch the podcast, thank you for listening. I almost forget that we're recording sometimes, so I just like sitting here talking about football and hanging out with my friends. So, let me know what your guys' picks are down in the comments section. Leave a like if you enjoyed. Anyone else got anything else to shout out before we go?
Tell us who's going to break the all-time punting yards record.
It's going to be from the Dayton Triangles.
Mm-hmm.
Or it's going to be the Bears kicker.
Probably the Bears kicker if I had to select one.
All right. Go, Pack, go. I'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye.